Welcome back to Pixelated Thoughts. The whole crew's here. Today we're going to talk about the Twisted Metal show because season 2 is about to kick off. It was inspired by an old video game franchise. Hasn't come out in like 12 years. I think PS3 was the last one, and there was really no story for Twisted Metal. Pretty much the entire show was made up for the show. A little backstory on Twisted Metal. It's basically just a tournament that was created by Calypso on Christmas Eve. I think all the tournaments happen on Christmas Eve, and he basically grants the wish for the winner of the tournament. And yeah, the show's pretty awesome. I enjoyed it. I actually just finished the last 2 episodes today. I was like, I don't remember there being an ending to the show, so I went back today and I was like, oh, I should probably watch the rest of this.
Did you see the post credits for the final episode? Did anyone see that?
No.
I did not actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, so if you
Stupid.
don't,
I did not.
we'll just spoil it. So the post credits
good.
is you see Stu and Mike sitting on the beach. They're celebrating the getting away from Sweet Tooth, and then Sweet Tooth appears, and then he actually kills Mike at the end, and then drags Stu away. So that is how the whole show.
You didn't say what they were hanging out with.
Oh, they're hanging with blowout dolls.
Oh, wait, that's an important part. What the heck?
They had dolls with hot dogs on them, and they were like talking to the hot dogs, which is weird. Yeah, it was very weird.
All right, God, this video is going to get demonetized too.
Immediately, 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes in, like 2.
Oh my God, I have to edit. I'll just edit that. It's fine. Yeah, no,
They had beep and beep.
Yeah, I think what's crazy is that this probably, I think the first season was really good. I do think I was kind of surprised that every episode was 30 minutes long, and that it was pretty much like a, like a modern sitcom, right? Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something, where I was like, oh, you're just doing, 30-minute episodes. This is a lot to put in, but they surprisingly did a really good job. I think it had a lot of surprising depth with some of the characters. I kind of like, when you're going through like Twisted Metal, I don't think until you get to like Twisted Metal Black for the PS2, where they started kind of like adding like real information to the dossier of the characters. Like I was like, I don't know any of these characters. I just know Axel has like wheels for arms and he looks really cool. And Grim as a motorcycle rider who throws like skulls at people is like his special. That was it. Like you didn't really have much of a backstory until you got to the end of their individual endings. But this did a really good job of like, fleshing out backstories for characters like John Doe. Sweet Tooth had like a really cool thing. I think Agent Stone, Tom Hayden Church is like one of my favorite actors. I think he's fantastic.
Oh,
but
so good.
He was great like the whole season. And I was really impressed. Like there are some moments where I was like, the CG is kind of rough. Like some moments I was like, that's
I've expected that.
That's expected, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys have seen the season 2 trailer. I mean, it looks really fun. Looks like a really fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Let's start. Let's get Jack's thoughts on the season. What you think, buddy?
I went in with no real expectations because I played the games, but I knew nothing about the characters.
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to that. However, I do enjoy the characters that they brought in and the story that they had.
What was that story about,
really,
Jack?
What's the story about?
Yeah, what's the
story about a man who is considered a milkman, and what he does is he drives across apocalyptic lands to deliver packages to different cities.
Death Stranding. All right.
So,
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed the dynamic between Quiet and John. That was real interesting. And then the moral issues that Stu had throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
With whether or not he actually wanted to help or be the bad guy.
That was really
bad for him.
Yeah, I felt bad for him like 90% of the time. Yeah, felt bad for Stu. Got bullied.
Yeah, poor justice for Stu, man. Especially after you telling me the end credits, bro. Justice for Stu.
Got bullied a bunch. Yeah. They forgot his name at the end. They're like, it's Lou. No, it starts with an S. It's on my tip of my tongue. It's Stu. My name is Stu. I'm like, that's poor right. Man. Yeah, no. a good show.
I thought it was good though. Yeah.
JB, what about you?
What's up?
No, what was like that? When did you ever? What was that?
What's up? No, like similar to Jack though, like I had no expectations going in, no idea what it was. But no, I really enjoyed it, surprisingly. It gave me, oh man, I always forget the name of the show that we watched. It's also a video game where they're in bunkers. Come on, help me out. I always want to say Borderlands. It's not Borderlands. Fallout.
Right.
Thank you. It's giving me kind of Fallout vibes with like the post-apocalyptic, like them having to kind of traverse like, you know, like cities, but like also like, you know, having to be careful. I liked the characters a lot. I was, you know, vibing with Sweet Tooth until we got to his backstory, and I said, "All right, this guy's got to go."
Was it the dog part? That was
it
brutal.
was the dog part. It was the dog part. Why does nobody warn me about these things? Come on, guys.
I told when I first watched the show,
I was this close to turning it off. I was this close.
I first watched the show when it came out, so that was like 2 years ago, and then I had totally forgotten everything. I was like, I just remember like there are some really funny parts, really graphic, violent parts, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then I was like watching, I was like, oh, this is the background for Sweet Tooth, and I was like, oh, I did not remember that at all. Like, that was a brutal scene, dude.
Yeah, so definitely skipped over that. Was a little mad, but I get it. But yeah, no, Sweet Tooth definitely went from favorite to absolute least favorite character. But I like the main characters like John and Quiet. Like their discourse and like banter and stuff I thought was interesting. They kind of made me mad sometimes, but like I get it. Both of their backstories were pretty interesting too. Like I liked John's about him literally having like no recollection of like his childhood, and he's like, I'm just here delivering stuff. I'm just milkman, you know, I'm just doing things.
I'm just playing good 2000s music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a vibe, like him in his car, man. And then Quiet too, like her backstory was really sad, and like I get her drive to like avenge her brother, and you know,
yeah,
in that sense too.
That was a really good episode where like she like, you know, had her brother's conscience like pretty much telling her like you need to run and stuff like that. That was really good.
Yeah. And I think like their whole backstory of like, you know, wanting at first like working for this place for like what was they said like 4 years, and then they would get their own like house and things, and then it's like modern day slavery, like
yeah,
basically just getting kind of like
it's modern, but yeah.
What is you say,
yeah, Katsu, you tell him.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
tell him, buddy. You tell him. Any whoosies. But no, overall, like I thought it was really good. And kind of like you said, I thought the pacing was really well. I didn't think it was like boring at any point, or I didn't think they were rushing. Like it was very smooth. Especially with the end too. I was like, oh snap, her brother.
Yeah,
So
I mean they
I'm
packed
excited to see
like I
season
said, they
2.
packed a lot in, you know, 10 episodes, and 30-minute episodes is still like really shocking to me that they got this much out of it. Because most of the time, like when you watch, I think Fallout was an hour long ish, just around that, and it was like, you know, a lot of content, a lot of really, it was more dramatic. I wasn't expecting the action comedy, right? When you think of Twisted Metal, like I think me and Brad probably thought like it was more gonna be like Twisted Metal Black, where it's gonna be like overbearingly dark and kind of gothic horror at times. Like that's what we kind of thought it was gonna be. And then when I was like, oh, Anthony Mackie's attached to it, he's not gonna do something like horror. He's gonna do something like funny. So he did. It was actually like a really funny, like crude, like dark humor, right? Especially when Sweet Tooth is like mangling people and then talking to his bag. He's like, Harry, what did you do?
He said, what did you kill all these people?
That was like my favorite. It's like, no, my people. Harry, what did you do? And I was like, well, I mean, did the bag do it? Like there's gotta be. He might have done something.
Was it the bag?
Yeah, was it the bag? I don't know.
Like, take the steering wheel.
Yeah. Lights his hair on fire, lights his head on fire.
Oh, I thought that was wild. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, well, in the game, his head's on fire like the entire time. Right? They nailed like the entire Sweet Tooth part. Like Will Arnett's voiceovers, fantastic. Like Samoa Joe's like physical presence, all of that. All the mannerisms, great.
They should have just had Will Arnett.
You know,
also,
I don't. He wouldn't have been. He's not big enough. Well, what's crazy is that like I guess when they talked to Samoa Joe in like one of the interviews, they said like, you know, who was doing the lines? Was it like Will Arnett to the side or something, or someone saying he's like, no, I did all the lines. I just, you know, they just had Will Arnett voice over it. I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, like I've seen Samoa Joe do other stuff, and I'm like, he's actually a good voice actor. I don't know why. Maybe because I think Will Arnett is a executive producer. Maybe just want to voice like one of the characters, and it is what it is.
I think he has that more psychotic. I think he has a very unique voice.
Yeah.
I think that fit the character very well.
Surprisingly,
so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Samoa Joe's like. I don't know his voice range, so I can't really vouch for that. But I think it was a good, addition that Will Arnett was the voice.
I'm just still kind of surprised about how they were able to kind of world build as much as they did. Right? I mean, like I was not expecting whatever Twisted Metal was, which is why I think I was like really lenient on the show. Like there are some parts where I was kind of like, well, we're just kind of burning through certain things, right? Really quick. And we're just like, we have characters being introduced. Like, does that character really matter? Will they matter later on? But like the only character I think that got like a ton of callbacks was Stu. Like you had like when he was first introduced and he, Agent Stone was like, having them snipe people and stuff like that, calling them seagulls and stuff like that. And then that gets brought back at the very like last episode. And I was like, that's a great callback. He probably had some of the more like emotional moments. I think he was probably one of the more relatable characters. And then you had like Anthony Mackie, his performance with like John was like fun. It was kind of like the weirdest thing I've seen him in because usually he does like a lot of dramatic stuff. People know him from like Captain America and the Winter Soldier and stuff.
I was gonna say I really just.
But like I watched
Captain America.
Altered Carbon. Yeah, season 2 was bad. Like he was good.
My god,
he did his best.
He was the best in that season. I was so mad.
I've never watched that show.
Altered Carbon is
season 1.
Dude, I loved that first season.
Fantastic first season. Really, it's
a
really great sci-fi concept in which your consciousness is based off like these stacks that they put in your neck, and then they can take that out and insert it into like another another human, artificial or whatever. And so basically, I think the novel does the same thing. And so what they did was that they took out, I can't remember the dude's name. He's a really great like Swedish Swedish actor, and then they made Anthony Mackie in season 2, and like they just kind of butchered the story, but he was the best part of it in Altered Carbon. But he's done a ton of dramatic stuff, and then like when he got to the MCU, he was doing a lot of comedy, like he was obviously. And so I was like, this is great. Like he's actually really good when he needs to like give the character depth, and then when he's just being goofy as hell like the entire time, talking about like how he's just kind of messing up every time. Like when he got pulled over, when he got was on the side of the road, when he got that gimp who found him. That part was so awkward. He was trying to.
Thought he was dead.
Yeah,
he was rubbing the shortening on him.
Oh. that was just not good. That was a disturbing scene. But he had like and then he just had so many like crazy moments, like everything just kind of fit right. It just some parts I was just like, does this really matter to the story? Does this matter to the character? But it kind of felt like it was one of those like it's just the journey of it. Like let's world build the hell out of it, which they did. They introduced so many different characters, so many different settings. Like you had the convoy, that was really cool. I like that. I like that setup, by the way. The convoys, that's very well done. That was super cool.
I meant to say I did really like that. I thought that was a cool idea too.
I can't remember her name. She's the gardener, and she poisoned him. I was like, oh my god, she's crazy.
Amber?
Yeah, Amber, was it Amber?
Yeah, Amber. I was gonna I forgot her name.
That was so that was so brutal when she like took that that leaf to his arm and then burnt his arm. She's like, some people say it's like having a heart attack. I'm like, why would you like say that to somebody?
She didn't trust him.
That's true. And then she's like, yeah, so we I take like, she was like taking people's hands and stuff like that. I was like,
oh my god, speaking of like the kind of going, sorry, this is a little off track, but like when they were talking about Quiet's backstory, dude, like it was crazy. Like those people would like cut off like their appendages, like the fingers, the ears, and like wear it as jewelry.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that was so weird.
So it's crazy is that like there was like a good mix of like it was pretty much a dark comedy, but like that stuff you see in Twisted Metal Black all the time. Like Twisted Metal Black was like straight up dark. Like I think 1 through 3. I think there's 3 originally, right, Brad? I think
I think there was a 4th one.
So like those games are like kind of, they're off-putting, but they're funny, right, with like some of their endings. But Black was like, when it released for the PS2, it was like, we're taking it into an entirely dark territory. Like Calypso is not like, every time someone does a wish with Calypso or they like to win the tournament, their wishes always backfire, but they backfire in the most horrific fashion. And so, like, it felt like a good mix of like kind of the lighthearted, like funny stuff that happened in Twisted Metal with like the really dark. So it was a good juxtaposition there. I was actually really surprised by like how dark the show would get. Obviously, with Sweet Tooth's backstory, right? I mean, you shouldn't make light of it because he was like frankly killing people already and like making fun of it. Like he stuck a grenade in someone's mouth. That was an insane moment, right? I was like,
Yeah.
Goes through the with the DMV and just starts cutting people down, just starts mowing all them down, which is an insane moment as well. Cause like he's like joking while Stu is like completely traumatized. That poor dude, man. I was like, this is surprisingly dark and well done and well acted. You had like so many good performances. I love Stephanie Beatriz, who plays Quiet. I watched, she was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She was in like a lot of like movies. Her it's
Well, that's where she's from.
it's really funny
She
because
looks very familiar.
if you watch, I think it's like Encanto, like she's like, I think she voices the main character.
She
everyone-
does, actually.
yeah, she does. Yeah, she's she's a really solid all around actress. So it's like surprising that it got this much love. Plus, Nev Campbell's in it. That's what I'm talking about. I was messaging Jack. I was like, she has aged like fine wine. Damn. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's aged at all.
She looks great.
No, she really hasn't.
I think my favorite guest was the preacher. That's Jason. I think it's Mantzoukas.
I love him. Oh my god, he's so. He's my. I love him.
Everything he's in. And what's really funny is that him and Stephanie Beatrice, they were in Brooklyn Nine-Nine together. They were a couple in there, and they were just amazing together. And he just plays the most unhinged characters so well and so convincingly. I think he's gonna be.
He played in Oh my god, sorry, Bean's like freaking out. Oh my fuck, what did he play in? Hold on, I'm putting a pin in this. Sorry, keep going.
I was looking through the character list, and Childhood John looks like it's his son, Anthony Mackie's son.
Is it really?
Yeah, it says Anthony Mackie Jr.
I was sick. We got a Nepo baby. Here's the other thing I was talking to Brad about this. I didn't know, like, I because my knowledge of Twisted Metal almost died after Black, which was what, 2006 ish, right? I might be wrong. Let me check. Twisted Metal, yeah,
2001.
Dude,
I was about to say it was like just after 2000.
I did not play Head On. I didn't play
that
the
as well.
2012 Twisted Metal because I was not a fan of like the online component. Did not look fun. Huge fan of Black, so I didn't like remember most of the characters. So I was like, oh my god, I think almost every character outside of Quiet is from Twisted Metal. Like Agent Stone used to be an FBI agent, then he became a cop in like Black. John Doe, Baby Doll, or I'm sorry, Dollface, Bloody Mary. Like the amount of characters was just, they just filled it up. I am kind of sad. I don't know if Agent Stone actually died. I'm assuming, I'm assuming he does, but they don't show it on screen. My assumption is he's still alive. That'd be great if Thomas Hayden Church would make a comeback.
Theory here. He comes back as Grim.
No, Grim's like an original character. They actually show his face in the trailer.
He comes back as Grim.
Oh, you mean like the spirit?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that could make sense. That'd be kind of weird. I could take that. But like Mr. Grimm's like one of my favorite characters. Axel, if you don't know, Axel has like 2 wheels for arms.
He's pretty. I think he's the most iconic. Well, I take that back. Sweet Tooth is probably the most iconic.
I think Axel's number 2.
Axel, yeah.
Sweet Tooth is
that,
like.
Is that who that photo of that was standing in between the two tires?
The guy was just looking real jacked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the season 2 trailer, you get to see him up close, and he's like incredibly intimidating with how large he is. I think he's played by Michael James Shaw. What was he in? Oh, he was in The Walking Dead as Mercer. Okay, yeah. And he was in Constantine as Papa Midnight. So, dude's a good actor. I really wonder how season 2 is going to go, though, because if you are doing the tournament, which they are, like, are we killing every single character? I assume Grim can't die. I'm just throwing this out there, like, because he's like a spirit. But are we diving deep into the supernatural portion? I'm asking this to Brad. Do you think it's going to dive into that supernatural part of Twisted Metal that kind of gets glossed over sometimes? Like, do you
Yeah.
think that season 2 is going
I
to be like that?
I don't I don't think so.
Well, Calypso
Yeah,
doing wishes, like, how's that going to
yeah,
work?
yeah. Well, so once again, in a post-apocalyptic world, it's like, what do you consider like a like your greatest desire, right? I feel like he can pull out just some random things and it's be like, okay, this is once again, the wish never comes true, right? It's always
Yeah, it's
something
always something bad. Yeah.
adjacent and absolutely abhorrent. But
Good
I,
words.
yeah, it's like with Grimm, he might be supernatural. He might just be, you know,
Really high. He
he
might
might
just be a
be
junkie.
he might be a magician and just has like good physical effects,
He's
you know.
Mysterio from Marvel.
uh, I don't know it. So that was the one thing with season one was I was like, there's actually not a. It all kind of revolved around vehicles, but there wasn't a whole lot of vehicle combat except for like the last episode.
Yeah.
Like there was like chase scenes and there was
Yeah.
fights and things, but it was like most of it was the characters. It really wasn't the actual vehicle
Now,
combat.
but I don't know if you could make an entire show. You could make a movie about that because we've seen films that have just been in a car, right? And that's
Well,
kind of
yeah.
worked. I don't know if
So
you could do a whole like
in the video game, it's like a battle royale. It's literally
yeah.
everyone. It's a free for all. It looks like that. So they were showing the brackets. I'm assuming it's going to be like duels, so one on ones. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming they're going to draw it out that way because I'm assuming they're not being revived. So it's like when someone dies, they die. So it's got to be like
No
I'm
Apex
assuming,
Legends?
yeah.
No
There's no,
revive
there's
cards?
no, yeah. So I'm assuming it's going to be drawn out in that direction of the actual battles, and then in between the actual duels, you have the backstory of maybe uncovering like who Calypso is because he's always been a mysterious character.
I hope they
And
don't. I hope they don't. What I like the fact that is that I totally forgot that in season 1 Calypso does make an appearance, but he's just a disembodied voice. You get to see his
yeah,
facility. And you get to see Nev Campbell Raven, you see her get Rocky Road ice cream. Like, how do you hate Rocky Road? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what is
she's
that?
like marshmallow, ew.
Ugh.
But I do love that guy that in the trailer.
Anthony Kerrigan,
Yeah,
fantastic
dude,
actor.
phenomenal.
NoHo Hank from Barry. That dude he's the guy. Like, I love him. He's so good. Um, Chibi, where do you want to see season 2 go? Like, what are you hoping to see?
I don't know.
Okay, good. All right, moving
Okay,
on.
okay, no. Hear me out. I want to see more of this girl gang. I need to understand. Well, because I mean, I have no idea. So like the whole thing of like the doll. What are they called again?
Dollface. Yeah,
The
like the
doll
baby dolls
faces.
or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Like the doll faces. Like when she literally said, my brother John." Like I'm like, I need to know that connection. So I hope they go into that a little bit more. Like, is she actually
They
related, or is it like they
they
grew
kind of
up?
I think they kind of spoiled it in the season 2 trailer because they do
I
show
yeah, I
at
haven't
one
watched
point
it.
John, I think it's John, Quiet, I think Dollface is there, and then another character. I can't remember who it is. But they're all standing on a hill overlooking like a site. So I think they do meet up and they do talk, but I don't know if John believes them, right? I'm assuming he doesn't. Like maybe they connect during that time frame. I don't know if she takes off her mask. Well, if it's anything like Halo, the mask is gonna come off. You can't keep people like looking mysterious the entire time. But yeah, no, I think I do think they're gonna give you more depth into the backstory, but like the season 2 trailer just looks more insane. Like, and I'm like when they like I said when they showed Grimm and Jack, you saw it too, right? Like it looked like a spirit was coming out of his mouth. So I was like, are we diving into that supernatural portion? And I'm really
Just chewing on dry ice. That's all
yeah.
he's doing.
Here, I'll watch it real quick.
This man's on some things.
I will say, the Dollface in black. Dollface was
Terrifying.
so was it No Eyes or No Face? The guy that had
Yeah,
he had his
yeah, yeah.
eyes and his mouth shut.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
gosh.
his backstory was awful, and Dollface was also awful. Um, and her character bothered me so bad.
Bloody Mary's was awful too. Like she was like a nun. She was terrifying. Like, it's weird that you like. I mean, it's interesting that they went in the direction of like having John Doe be the main character, but that kind of makes sense because you could kind of shape that person into whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
But at least all the like the iconic vehicles, like I swear to God they nailed Sweet Tooth. Like that was one of the things I thought was really cool, especially like when the rotating head was shooting missiles all over the place. Like he just showed how and like how violent he was and how like like he said everyone has to burn. Like he's just insane. That part felt like Black to me, Brad, when they had that scene where like they're like Stu and Mike were like, "What'd you do that for?" He's like, "Dude, everyone's got to burn. There is no like partners here."
There's no sides.
I think what's interesting about the baby doll stuff too, or the Dollface group, whatever they're called, but I feel what's interesting is that like in Twisted Metal, the one in 2012, I remember there are factions. Like Sweet Tooth actually has like a group of people with him. I remember that part of like the gameplay. But we'll see how that works out. I wonder if like Calypso's got like maybe they get to a point where they just want to like interrupt Calypso's game, but there's a question of like how do you do that because Calypso is supposed to be like this kind of all powerful character. So I wonder how they play that out, or do they just keep him as like a businessman? Like he's just someone uber rich and just has a vast amount of resources and stuff like that. Jack, what do you want to see, man, in season 2?
I don't know. At the end of season 1, John kind of dismisses the idea of wanting to know who his family was.
Yeah.
And says he'd rather go back to quiet and have whatever he had with her. So I'm wondering if, with the introduction of this so-called sister of his, if that'll rejuvenate the desire to find his family, if that's even a thing.
I also wonder like if they're gonna make it longer, like the episodes, because there's 12 episodes now. I wonder if they're gonna like do anything where it's like you have one episode it's like 45 to an hour long, because I mean it was a tight 30 I think almost every episode.
Yeah,
but I do
it definitely was.
But I do think this does give you time because like I think like based off the season 2 titles, it looks like because they have a Dollface episode, so I assume that entire thing is going to be the backstory.
Yeah.
But I don't think the tournament's going to start immediately. But there is like that really funny part where like Calypso's like, all right, on your marks in 10, and everyone's just standing there.
And they're standing there.
That's 9. He's like,
No, I just watched it. No, it looks really good, but I can see what you mean. Like it looks more crazy. Like a lot of the scenes were, I feel like, from the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I assume like setting something like this up would take far more time because it is a 2-year hiatus. But because it's a much shorter watch with 10 episodes at 30 minutes, I mean, you can just kind of coast and watch, like burn right through it. I just like the fact that like they gave time to certain characters. Like they gave Agent Stone a ton of space. Like Thomas Hayden Church had like his own episode, his own backstory was dark. And then every time he was like appearing, he just kind of like chewed the fat, right? That was like his, like if he was in the scene, he is like the main person you're watching the entire scene, because it was like this weird guy who wanted to be. He was like he's such an ass because like the way he like had the word of the day on his calendar, loquacious, and it's like this guy's just a dickhead. And then it turns out that like that his, I guess he really did want to be a good cop, and then turns out that him being hated kind of pushed him to the edge, and then he found that opportunity to like quote unquote save everybody, which was actually just killing like a group of people who were holed up in a restaurant. So I think they did a really good job at some parts, like really balancing like the drama, I guess, that would come in a post-apocalyptic show. You have that everywhere, but also just kind of laying on the comedy constantly. Like the I think it's the episode with Jason with Manzukis, where it's like that whole episode was so wild, like the things that were happening, and I was like, it should not be funny, but watching him with like having a beer gut, right, and then when he's like fighting using capoeira and stuff like that, and then his double being muscular and stuff, is like that's some 90s like action comedy type stuff that I love so much. And apparently he survived, because in and like at the end of the season they show like they have his picture and stuff like that where they're like putting it on the board. I was kind of curious, like I think it was interesting because I haven't seen that in most shows where they're like if you're going to introduce a character in the second season like Axel and you don't cast them yet, you just kind of get like an actor who you would think would fit that, or you get like a model. Like when they showed off Calypso, just had the black hair, but Anthony Carrigan hadn't been casted yet, so you just kind of like cast him afterwards, and then it's like hopefully the mannerisms and voice sound right. Because imagine if you had messed up the voice in the first season, which like we can just play it off because it was just like a voiceover, a disembodied voice. So I am interested in that. But I do want to see, and I think Brad, you brought this up, like what they do with Calypso. Like, do you keep him grounded, which I think Black tried to do, or do you like bring like a supernatural presence to him? Because there's supposed to be like this air of mystery to this character.
I want to say in one of the games, I want to say it was one of the earlier ones.
Mhm.
So Sweet Tooth literally just wants to become the most prolific serial killer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like he literally that's his wish is to be like the most famous serial killer. I want to say he actually kills Calypso in one of the games. Like that was his like final wish thing, was that he actually like takes Calypso's spot.
Was it 2 or is it 3? I can't remember. I should have. I swear it was Black, dude, because Black was like.
It may have been like I definitely played Black the most, and I remember the most
because Black
of that one.
So yeah, no. So in Twisted Metal Black, like because of that fire that Sweet Tooth has on his head, Calypso says, "I'm gonna remove the fire from your head as a prize if you win the tournament." And in the ending, like for Sweet Tooth to actually like do that, Calypso says you have to stop killing people, right? To which Sweet Tooth responds by killing him. So, yeah. That I don't know if he becomes like I'm assuming maybe
Yeah,
maybe
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't see him like being like a ringleader of or a tournament organizer, right? I don't see him having that kind of speciality and or the want to. He might just want to kill some more people. Or I don't know. He might host the tournament again just so he can kill more people and he just be part of it every time. I don't
that's a
know.
good point.
I with so many characters and so many games, and I mean, there's 1,000 ways they can introduce another 15 characters next season.
Exactly.
Outside of what we've already seen, and
Just as long as they don't
pretty
kill
much,
Axel. Let's not kill Axel,
yeah.
please. I mean, it's gonna be weird. I like my whole thing is like, how bad does your aim have to be to not hit the guy in the middle with the tires around him? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
how
yeah,
how
seems
are we
like
missing?
the most, the most impractical, by far.
And the most painful. Like, what are you like? What are you doing, my guy? Like, what? Can we not get
So
Can we get this man a vehicle?
I'm pretty sure his hands are not part of the chassis. I think his hands are like in like a like
Like a
like
holder or
handles.
some grip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like handles.
But
I don't think
still,
he's like part of the tires
my
themselves.
point stands because I those are 7-ton tires. Those are like for those really big trucks. Like we use those in like the military for our 7-tons. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to like hold them things up while screaming. Like the amount of dexterity you'd have to have, right, to like turn it like a motorcycle, I'm assuming, right? And then you'd have to have like your guns. Where were the guns attached? It was on the tire. It was on the side of the tires, right? I think.
I think it was on his shoulders.
Was it on his shoulders? The 2 machine. He had 2 machine guns. I remember.
I'm pretty sure they were on his shoulders.
Because I think so. Grim drove a motorcycle, if I remember, and
Yep.
he had a scythe. And then like they showed that in one of the trailers where like I think someone shot a missile and he like I think it was Sweet Tooth. He shot a missile at him and he swiped at it and deflected the missile, and I was like, that was amazing. Yeah, I was like, the fact that the vehicular combat was really only in like 2 episodes. I think it was the first episode where John's going through the mall, and then the second to last episode, or no, the last episode where they had a clear, obvious setup to like this is an arena, like we're gonna start dueling. And then you're going to like this. I wonder how that's gonna work. I'm hoping it's kind of like a what's the racing game, Brad, that like goes from point A to point B, but you just have like people like shooting at each other. I'm trying to think. It's like Forza Horizon but with guns. Basically, because that's my assumption. Like you're not just like you're going to certain areas and then dueling there because there's brackets, right? And then you're just continue going on fighting and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. What I'm most shocked about is that there is no Twisted Metal game or tie-in like that's going with this. I really feel like this is the opportunity for Sony to kind of be like, hey, season 2's back, so it's a new Twisted Metal game.
Yeah, so I was actually researching the development of the games. There's been like 5 canceled Twisted Metal games.
Yeah,
in some form or fashion. So I think some of them were started to be built before they were greenlight, and they were greenlit, and they were literally like just like don't do that, just stop making it. And I think other ones were canceled, but like because it's been 13 years since the last game, I wouldn't be surprised if,
But
or
shockingly,
I am surprised they haven't done
out of
anything with it.
out of like all the Sony IPs, right? All of them. You nail every game you can talk about, right? Twisted Metal was like the one I'm like, I don't know if you could actually make a show about this unless you completely deviate from like the content. But luckily, because it's almost like a blank slate, it's just strictly a tournament fighter essentially. Like you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff, and then making whoever you want to be a certain main character, right? And then how do you not only like introduce that, but maintain like the fact that there's supposed to be vehicular combat constantly? And to I think when Brad brought it up, I was like, yeah, there's, you don't see it a lot. It's mostly ground character stuff, but I do think it'll probably become more of a travel show as you go into season 2, like it has to, right? Because you're actually introducing the tournament. Even though I don't think the first 2 episodes will probably be like that. I think it's going to be like introducing like who Calypso is, the characters, and then we're going to eventually like start getting into like the action. But I do want to see like, maybe an explanation about the lightning storms, right? Which just kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I want to see more about that.
I was looking up stuff on Twisted Metal Black, and I have a question.
Sure.
Marcus Kane and Needles Kane, are they the same person?
I think
They're both Sweet Tooth.
I think kind of, yeah. I don't know if like his actual name was it Marcus Kane? Let me see.
Yeah, they're referencing a Marcus Kane and a Needles Kane.
Yeah, Marcus Kane was supposed to be a split personality. That is sweet. Yeah. That is Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Needles Kane was like Minion or something. What was his name? It was like the little one. Let me see. What was your name, dude? Yeah, but what's interesting is that the way that Black works is that it really is like supernatural, especially because characters actually have interacted with each other. Like Preacher has done stuff to like Sweet Tooth. There's a reason Sweet Tooth's head's on fire because of a curse put him on by Preacher and stuff like that. But I don't think there's a quote unquote good character in Twisted Metal Black. Like everyone is like kind of a monster, and they kind of give in to those like as you go along. I don't think there's like actually like a lead or a good character.
I'm pretty sure Dollface was fairly innocent in at least like her backstory.
Her backstory.
Because she worked for a doll maker, and she spilled coffee on him. And her punishment was he took nails and nailed a doll face to her face.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm pretty sure she went crazy after that. Like I'm not justifying,
I think
who she is now.
I love TV's face. Like, oh my god, no, if like we said, you go from like kind of being funny and goofy and Twisted Metal. Like, I mean, there's a lot of darkness in it. Don't get it wrong, because like Sweet Tooth is a serial killer in like every game. But you go from that to like Black was like, let's just be super dark and grim, and let's make every character like an absolute monster. That's basically like there's no happy endings. I think Axel has like the wheels grafted to his body or something like that, like his arms and stuff. But yeah, anytime they go through like an ending with Calypso, it is just constantly backfiring in the worst, most violent way. And I'm like, this is messed up, man. So yeah, that's what I kind of expected when I was watching the show. I was like, I wonder if they're going to get to that point where it's like a completely grim episode. And Marcus Kane's background was messed up, man. Him like being a failed child actor. Have you guys ever watched the movie Nope?
I was just about to mention that.
Same thing.
The exact same thing.
You watched Nope? Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we're just gonna. Oh, so Nope's a great movie. It's by Jordan Peele, and
I've heard really good things about this one, actually. Yeah.
God, what's his name, dude? Oh my god, he plays Glenn. I can't remember his name, but he's his character. Stephen Yeun
from The Walking Dead.
Stephen Yeun.
Oh, I love him.
So, he plays a character named Jupe in Nope, and like he has like this really traumatic backstory where he was on this set, and they had a monkey that they use as like the like I don't know, like not the titular character, but like part of the family. You're right, one of those sitcoms that had that, and the monkey snapped and violently murdered people on set, and the only person that survived the attack was Jupe. And so my brain watching Twisted Metal was like, that's just like Jupe, except Marcus is a psychopath. Yeah, it's worse because Marcus is the one
Except
doing
he
it.
killed the monkey instead of the monkey
Yeah,
killed him.
and then he asked for his line. Line! I was like, someone spray this kid down. Yeah, I wasn't shocked by like the critical reception to Twisted Metal because I felt like, it's really hard to make one of these shows. It got like a 60%, but the audience loved it. So I was like, makes sense because, I don't know if you want to like, you don't have to necessarily turn your brain on for this one. Like it's pretty easy to kind of connect the dots because every character has like clear alignments and stuff like that. And you're trying to anchor it with your leads. And they do a good job with that.
I feel like there was a lot of improv in the show. I really felt like they were like, hey, you're this character, this is happening, just like make something up for the scenario.
Be funny.
And I feel like they had a lot of the characters, or they had a lot of the actors to do that. Like I feel like they had good cast that were able to just be natural to whoever they were trying to play.
It was definitely a really good ensemble, and I think like season 2 is gonna like up that as well. Because I think like what happens is that when you see like a good foundation, and then when everyone gets comfortable, generally speaking, like season 2 is usually better than season 1 unless you're Halo, and then it just kind of goes from there. Same thing I'm hoping for Fallout, right? I mean, Fallout's going to be harder to follow, in my opinion, because Fallout season 1 is fantastic. Season 2 might be really hard to follow unless it's like New Vegas completely. But with Twisted Metal, I think like you can just have a good time with it. That's my opinion. Like I think this is a really good show. You can watch it in like 3 hours ish, a little over 3. And now I think adding 2 more episodes is pretty. I think that's a kind of a sign of confidence that you want to tell maybe a more in depth story. Maybe you want to add more characters. But also to Brad's point, you're going. If they do kill off characters, in season 2, you have an entire roster of other characters you can kind of pull from. But I think as long as you like introduce some of them in season 2 as well, like they can be in passing or whatever. But yeah, as long as you continue to introduce characters, I am completely on board.
In the convoy during the convoy episodes, they mentioned there was a lot of characters that they either didn't touch or they had like non-speaking parts. They were like in the PSP game or like there was a lot of people that they just had there.
Such a cool man. That was such a cool layout too. I'm sorry, the convoy stuff was just so dope.
Yeah,
I just love that. It's a great idea. Also, Mr. Slam, the Mr. Slam watermelon scene was the most. That was the most unhinged episode. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna. I started laughing so hard for no reason. I was like, "What is going on?" And then he survived. So shout out to Mr. Slam for his survival. Good on that too. Oh man, I just wanted to throw a loop in the Brand's train of thought because I know he's really thinking her.
Yeah. I was gonna mention something else, and I totally lost it.
Let's think about Mr. Slam.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But as far
I remember. So the Granny or the
Granny Dread.
So Granny Dread. Yeah. So she was a character in one game.
Yeah.
And she joins the Twisted Metal competition because she wants it to end. That is her wish that the Twisted Metal stops, because the previous year that it happened, it destroyed her neighborhood. She literally joined out of spite just to end it all. And I'm like, that's the Granny I would like to have,
Was that like a weird emotional moment with you? Like, what was that about?
Nah. No, that's kind of like oddly specific.
That was an oddly specific moment. Are you okay? Do we need to take
I got my own Granny. I like my Granny. My Granny's pretty cool.
I'm just saying. That was like an oddly specific moment.
And then Preacher. So in the video game, all the characters have like a special move or like a special ability that they have. So Preacher in his El Camino, he drives an El Camino. His ability is he has a person on a cross on the front of his vehicle, and he launches the people.
That's right, dude. It's so messed up.
I was waiting for that to happen in the show, and it just didn't. I was like, God.
But he does have that person.
That's crazy. What?
He does have that person upside down, and they were making fun of him. He probably deserved it. He's like, no, I didn't. Oh man. I think as far as video game adaptations go, I think this is the one that surprised me the most. And it also makes me mad that Twisted Metal can get a solid adaptation, but Resident Evil can't. Like, I'm not going to make you guys watch the Resident Evil Netflix series because it is
We are.
atrocious. It is absolutely an insult to the entire series. And I'm replaying that franchise to like make videos. And as I was watching Twisted Metal, I was like, why can't Resident Evil do this? Like, why not? Like, I think Silent Hill's new because they're getting a movie, I think, next year. I think you can make a good Silent Hill film. I think Jack agrees with me. Like, I don't think you can mess that
yeah.
up. If you just adapt Silent Hill 2, we're good. Like, I don't need
Oh, yeah,
anything else. You know what I mean? But like Twisted Metal had like literally it's like a sandbox title. You can do whatever you want, and somehow they make a
They
good
did pretty
adaptation.
good.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, you know? I'm just like this is the most surprising win for me for Sony. Like you made a good adaptation out of a game that was about cars shooting each other. Like somehow you made it work. It would have been even fun if there's like just the animated series of just cars shooting each other.
Yeah.
They could have done it. I don't know. Lightning McQueen. He's getting shot.
Oh my god, imagine Lightning McQueen has oh my god, what was the car name that they did? The second car
Oh, I can't remember.
that was like decked out. You know what I'm talking about? They named it.
I wasn't.
Roadkill.
Roadkill.
I know, imagine Lightning McQueen being Road Killer.
So, for a video game tie-in, so I don't know if you ever played the Mad Max video game.
I did. Fantastic.
So I think whoever that I think it was Avalanche that did that.
Do they still
They
exist?
also-
Because aren't they under EA? Do they still exist?
Uh,
Because Just Cause 5 got canceled. So
I mean that's okay, that's fair. But I'm just saying, you know, they could basically just like reskin Mad Max into this Twisted Metal where it's more story driven and you can
you could have John
upgrade your
Doe.
car.
You could have
Yeah,
John
you have
Doe
John
be
Doe
the character.
and you like create your own car, right? You have like your own vehicle and
because
weapons.
it's John Doe, it's a created character. So you can create like this kind of open world, you know, derby game. That'd be you know,
And in the game, John Doe looks very John Doe. He's just like a bald white dude.
the most generic white guy you've ever seen. Brad is petitioning for this character. He's like, I will play John Doe. It's like, Brad, you cannot do that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that out of all the adaptations I've seen so far, this one was the most surprising. I thought you had a layup with Halo. They botched that. Obviously, all the Resident Evils, they botched those. Shocking. You know, I it's just really good. So, that said, what should be the next thing we watch? Also, they botched Borderlands. We don't have to talk about that. If you like Borderlands, I don't know if you like movies at all. Like, I don't. No, Brad, it was bad.
It was bad.
They took what
I
should have been
will-
a
I will-
rated R, just a fun movie, into like a awful whatever the hell that was with Kevin Hart. What should be next? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of like, is there anything I want to watch? Obviously, we're not going to watch anything like with zombies in it. So, you know.
Oh man.
Well, can't watch Resident Evil like the first one. I think that's the only good movie of the bunch, but it's also the weirdest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because then it just went downhill because the director kept hiring, because so Mila Jovovich is married to the director. She's the main character. And that was like her whole career pretty much. She's had like, I think every movie she's done almost has had him as a director. Which
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, listen, if it works, it
Crazy.
works. I mean, you spawned 5 movies, I think.
Is it working really though?
I mean, you know, people were really upset. I mean, there was never a video game adaptation, like a tie-in to it. It was just like, I expected it eventually, but they were like, nah, we're good. And people were, you know, obviously insulted by it. What are you looking at, Jack? I see the
There's a list of new video game movies coming out. Portal's gonna have one. We already know about BioShock. I thought that was gonna be a series.
BioShock should be a series. It should not be a movie.
Okay.
There's a lot of depth
Ghost
to
of
that.
Tsushima's gonna have something.
Yep, Ghost of Tsushima's
I'm
going to be
ready for
direct.
that Phasmophobia movie. I'm ready.
Yeah. Until Dawn. That
Oh,
I watched that.
I was gonna say we could do that, but that movie pissed me off, dude. What did you think?
It's
Give me your thoughts.
I appreciated it. If I were going in, if I were going in without knowing that it was based off of a very loosely based off of a video game,
Pretty much one character.
I
Yeah.
I would I probably would have liked it a little bit
Dude, I
more.
said the same thing. I said the same thing to Chris. I said, dude, if you just did not attach Until Dawn to the name, I would have been like, you know what? This is a cool concept.
Yeah,
But it ruins the horror.
but it had nothing to do with the video game.
Yeah. Right. Like, oh, you know what we should watch? Werewolves Within.
I actually
Werewolves
was looking
Within?
at that right now.
Werewolves Within. I've seen that movie before a couple years ago. It's like a black horror comedy, and it's based off a Ubisoft game in which you're in VR and pretty much like it's one of those like where you're trying to out somebody as the werewolf or whatever, trying to trick people, and it ended up being like I think one of the most kind of surprised. I mean, I don't know if I should. It's one of those things like it didn't. I don't think it had to even be considered tied in with the game, but it was just actually a good movie. So I think we can watch Werewolves Within and talk about that because it was actually really good. I'll put that in the chat. What were we
I
talking?
also watched Minecraft last night.
How was that? My kid wants to watch it, man. I don't want to watch that.
It's
movie.
not bad. I mean, it'd be a great kids movie for sure.
Chicken
It's
Jockey.
yeah, yeah. It's it's a bit corny in some areas, but I mean that's what you expect out of a movie that's probably supposed to be
It
for
almost
kids.
made $1 billion, I think, which was
Yeah, it's
shocking. Well, is it
yeah, they're
shocking though? I don't
great
think
with
it's
I,
shocking.
I believe it. I believe it. Think of how many kids love Minecraft, and then you have such big names that the parents are like, "Oh yeah, let's go see it."
You
Like,
got
I can see
Jack
it.
Black.
yeah, there was some
Wait.
Yeah,
good comedy
Jason
in it.
Momoa for the moms, bro. Come on.
Yeah, the
Jason
comedy in it was
Momoa
good.
for the mom.
Jason Momoa for the moms. You have Jack Black for the dads in the
I
comedy.
remember when Jason Momoa used to just play bad guys and get killed horribly. Yeah. That's all I used to play back in like the early 2000s. He was just cast as like your prototypical bad guy because he's like 6'5",
Yeah,
right? So,
big boy.
I mean, I don't think he has much range, but I mean, I've heard he is pretty funny in Minecraft. Like he actually, has some good comedic bits. But, I mean, that one, I don't know if the success of it was a surprise, but I think the reception to it, I thought was like kind of surprising because I'm like, I don't know how you can make Minecraft. Why not make it animated? One. But I don't know how you could make a cohesive Minecraft movie that makes sense. But Jack, maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's. I mean, you had the villagers who they were everything from within the game was perfectly created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big noses.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said earlier, the comedy definitely landed.
We can. Oh
And
yeah.
it was
I was. I was gonna say, we can also watch if you want to watch another movie with Mila Jovovich and her husband directing, you can watch Monster Hunter because he directed that as well.
what's it called?
Monster Hunter. He actually directed
Oh,
the movie, which obviously was not good.
I haven't watched that yet.
I did, and I was confused. I was like, so why aren't the guns hurting the monsters? Like we got like real life artillery. Like no, only blades can do it. I was like, that doesn't make any sense, man. I have a machine gun. The machine gun should be ripping right through them. Which
You know why?
I know. Eventually, like I think we're in a good spot with video game adaptations. I'm just wondering, like, what's going to be like the super big obsessive hit. I think Minecraft was like the first one that like crossed over 500 million. I think Super Mario Brothers only did like, no, I think that made $1 billion. I think Super Mario Brothers was like the first big one. Let me see. Maybe.
Just wait until Fortnite movie comes out.
You think that's gonna happen?
And they're literally going to find every famous person, and they're going to be like, "You're at least going to have a cameo in this game as a skin
John
of someone."
Cena being in there.
Who?
John Cena. I could see him being in a Fortnite movie.
You know what? I could take John Cena as long as it's not The Rock.
Oh yeah.
I know Dwayne Johnson wants to do like more dramatic roles, so he's trying to like show people that he's not a bad actor. Which here's the crazy part: when he started acting at the beginning, he actually took some serious roles and was really good at Southland Tales, which was like with him and Sean William Scott. It was kind of like this mind fuck of a movie. He was great in it; like he was really good. And then I think because even The Rundown, I thought he was great in The Rundown, and he like played that really like action comedy trope really well. But then like he started being really successful with certain films where he was like the main character and he played the same character in every single movie. And I was
He
like,
was good in the Fast and Furious movies, or is that like his
that's
standard?
that's his standard. It's like,
Fair enough.
was that movie Brad Skyscraper?
Oh my god.
Dude, was he missing a leg? I'm sorry, I can't remember the movie.
So there was a controversy of that movie because he played an amputee, and there was like this big fallout because they had him play a disabled person, and they're like, you should have had a disabled person play the role, and it's like, no. If it wasn't for The Rock, that movie never gets made.
That movie doesn't get made. I think it's made in collaboration with like a Chinese studio. So no, it's not a big hit in China either. So, he also made a video game film called Rampage, which was pretty
I
fun.
remember that.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun movie, dude. Pretty violent, but like, yeah, no, once he started like growing in terms of like his star, he just didn't take any risk. And like, if we're gonna be honest, if I'm almost making like $1 billion, if I'm like that $1 billion man, I'm not changing up who I am either. Like, I'm just gonna keep running that thing until it's like, I can't do it anymore.
What was the disaster movie?
Which one? There's so many.
The
There's
one with
so
The
many
Rock.
of 'em.
He did the.
Oh,
Oh
I
my!
know what you're
What was it?
talking about.
What was
It came out like right before Rampage.
Was it good? Probably not.
It's the one where they're like near the end, they're on the runway.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to escape in an airplane or something like that.
You know,
It's like every natural disaster happens in
Yeah,
California
yeah.
or something like that.
yeah,
I'm like, wow, this is
Carla Gugino is like his wife in it. That's all I remember. San Andreas. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it was.
That's
San
not a good
Andreas.
movie either.
I was like, it's the name of the Grand Theft Auto game, but I don't remember which Grand Theft Auto game. San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
He was good in
What's the
Pain and
game?
Gain. Pain and Gain was a good film with him and Mark
That was
Wahlberg.
good.
And Anthony
I
Mackie.
did-
Anthony Mackie was in it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
He had,
Yeah.
I
He
remember
was.
that.
I thought he was okay in Hercules, but he played The Rock.
Scorpion King.
In the Jungle Cruise, he played The Rock. Scorpion King.
He plays
was,
the Rock in a lot of his
in the
movies.
Scorpion King, he was The Rock. They're making a live action Moana, aren't they? So he's gonna play The Rock.
Yeah.
So that was
Well, he was in
the only time I think he did like a dramatic
Adam.
role recently was in Black Adam he played The Rock. Ballers, where I think he actually did a dramatic role, kind of. He was pretty solid in that. But yeah, I mean, dude, once you make
the Tooth Fairy. He was dude.
that's right, dude.
yeah.
That's a
Come on.
deep cut, man. Good lord, that's like Vin Diesel in The Pacifier or whatever it was.
Dude, I
That's
love
what I
that
was
movie too.
literally thinking this whole time. I was like, was that him? And I was like, no, it was Vin Diesel.
That was Vin
I-
Diesel.
I love the Pacifier. It's a stupid movie, but I love it.
I think that's like one of the rare Vin Diesel roles where he was not playing like this really gruff character. Except it's weird. Vin Diesel went from like being probably the most successful because of the Fast and Furious movies, but he actually did a movie where he played like a mob, like he's like this old aging mobster. And I was like, wow, I forgot Vin Diesel could act, because the last time I saw him was like in Boiler Room when he could act, and it was like after that, Fast and Furious, just be gruff, low voice, growl a little bit. Also be Riddick. I love the Riddick series, so I mean,
Riddick was good.
Sure. Not the Chronicles of Riddick, not the PG-13 version. The rated R
Yeah.
version of that was awesome, and the video game tie-ins were great too.
He's got hair this year, so
He's got
when he plays the attorney.
he's got hair this
Oh,
year. Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays an attorney in a movie coming out this year, or it came out this year. I don't know. And he has the worst hairline. Like, he has like a widow's peak that's like 8 inches long.
Well, that's why he shaves his head, because like his hair
yeah,
is like is awful. But my God,
oh my
the pacifier.
god.
Yeah, a lot of
Oh,
people.
I see it.
A lot of people didn't know either that like Vin Diesel had a video game studio, Tigran Studios. Like when they made the Chronicles of Riddick video game, Escape from Butcher Bay, which is fantastic, by the way. Like, I was so stunned that I was like, it's his studio that worked on it too? Like, that's crazy. And then the other two games were not good. He made like this most recent Fast and Furious game. Oh, it's called Fast and Furious Crossroads. It is not good. Yeah. He's also an ARC for some reason. Like, he's like, I don't know. That's crazy. I'm trying to look up that movie you were talking about, Brad. The one who's an attorney. Are you sure it's Vin Diesel?
Oh, it's called
Yeah.
Find Me Guilty.
Find Me Guilty.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I just know people were roasting that he has hair.
That's hilarious.
I mean, you can just Google Vin
Oh
Diesel
no,
era.
that's the movie I was talking about. 06. That's the
Oh,
Yeah,
Law
okay,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah. That was like, I was the last time I saw him like legitimately act, and I was like, oh, this is great, dude. That's weird that you don't do that anymore. But yeah, no, I think like, you know, you hit that point where you're a superstar and you can just cast him in whatever. It works.
You put him in one of the largest franchises, Guardians of the Galaxy, and you give him one line, and
Yeah.
you just
I
say it
am
over and over.
Groot.
Yeah.
Dude, he did a great job.
Apparently,
Yeah.
he did learn to say that in like 20 languages, which I assume is still not that difficult. But
Because it's just one line, yeah. And then maybe they can just repeat the line over and over again at different, like, you know, cadences. You know, sure. Look, I'm not trying to be a hater, man, but you know, when it comes to like certain movies, I'm just like, you typecast yourself, bro. Like Vin Diesel did it to himself, The Rock did it to himself. But if you're doing it in like wildly successful ways, I'm not gonna knock it, dude. I just, you know, lower my expectations. But yeah, damn, we got off track. San Andreas, now God, that movie sucked, man. Just like what? Jack, I know you watched this movie too. What was that? Was it 2012 with John Cusack, where he's like a limo driver and like the world is pretty much falling apart? Do you remember that movie? It's a disaster film. Anyone remember that one? I just want to shit. I just want to shit talk this movie because I remember watching a movie, like a breakdown of it. And they're like, "How is he driving a limousine as California is collapsing into the ground and there is no physics for the limousine? Like he's just driving like it's not hitting anything." And I was like, yeah. I don't think they've ever made. I don't think they've ever made a disaster movie that makes sense. Like, could it really work? Like, there was a movie called Moonfall. Don't watch it. My recommendation. It's terrible because when they have the moon get so close, right, and like all this catastrophes happen, so people are like, why aren't there tsunamis? Like,
what was that? What was that Gerard Butler movie?
Geostorm. Geostorm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
why? Like, you have to have some self-respect, man. Like, come on.
You know what's crazy, dude? I don't know. Like, here's my question to everybody, right? So let's say we get like, think of the worst video game you can imagine getting adapted, but you get told, let's say it's Hello Kitty's Island Adventure. Okay, friend.
Hold the front door. How dare you, first of all, come at me like that when you know that is such a solid game.
Let's say
Take
it's Hello Kitty's Friend Adventure, all right? But
Take it back.
you say to yourself, like, I would never lower myself to do that, but you get offered $20 million. I don't know.
I would do it for $10. Thank you.
Dude, I would adapt the anime horse racing girl game, and I would play one of the anime girls.
That would be. I would love that so much for you.
I think I would pay $20 million.
We're making Uma Musume or whatever it is, and we're gonna have Brad play this character. Brad, what did you take? Yeah, ooh woo. That's all he says. 10 million. You cut the check right now. Like ooh woo. Like we're good.
Sign me up.
I don't need. You can typecast me as that guy who just looks over, and that's it. Like I'll play that in every scene. I used to tell my brother that all the time. Like when Resident Evil first came out. For those who don't know, there was actually a way that you could like, there's I think one of the games had it, but like the game came out. I think it was Resident Evil 2 or 3. But they were like, hey, you can like sign up to audition, like you like register to audition for a zombie role. And I was like, oh my god, that's the only thing I've ever wanted to be in a film was a zombie. But I want to be the zombie that like trips and falls just like in the background that no one notices. But what I learned is like what they try to do with like most zombies, they try to get like people who are, you know, who can, I don't know what the word is for it, contortionists and stuff like that, where they can dislocate certain limbs. So because it looks gruesome. Like in the Resident Evil film, the most iconic scene for a lot of people is the first zombie is dragging its foot, and I think it's like in the tunnel, and its like ankle is like dislocated, and it's dragging its ankle across the floor. And it's such a really cool scene. And I was like, man, I could never be in this movie now. Although I could do like the Shaun of the Dead stuff. Like, oh yeah. Oh. All right. So we all like Twisted Metal. We think it's really good. We're looking forward to the Twisted Metal Season 2, which is coming out on July 31st, I think. Or July 30th. One of those days. This will be out prior to that. And then next down the rabbit hole is going to be Spy Family plus the movie, right? As a heads up to everyone on the show, Spy Family is 24 episodes. The movie is 2.5 hours. So
Okay.
I mean, do you want to do both? We can just do like the first season.
I want them to watch. I mean, we could do like
Jack looks like he's in pain, bro. Look
We
at
could-
him.
Well, I'll
First-
be in
first
Ohio,
off-
so I gotta find time to.
there's
watch
nothing to do in Ohio, but
There's you have a plane ride over there. You can watch half of these
yeah.
at double
And
speed.
My opinion
yeah,
on
if I
Spy
double
Family
speed it.
is
Okay.
you're gonna love that anime. It's really fun. It's a funny. It's funny. It's fun.
It's a good
just-
one.
It's really
a
good.
one.
Yeah. Really well animated, good humor. I think the dub kind of threw me for a loop the first time when I heard Lloyd's voice. So I was like, I don't know. If
Oh,
that fits
I was
in.
gonna say I don't know how the dub is, to be honest.
Dub's good. Dub's still good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. The sub is great. I will admit that.
The
the
sub-
sub's fantastic.
Like Anya's voice, dude. It's
And
so good.
and we'll get like your opinions on the openings and endings because the openings are fantastic. Like they're just
Mhm. So
great.
good.
We'll talk about that. And then for Pixelated Thoughts, next episode is gonna be Werewolves Within. And then yeah, we just keep moving on. Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about? Brad? Jack? Chibi?
Nothing.
What's up?
Brad, do the ending. Do the outro. It's your episode. That's
See you
probably
later.
it's gonna get banned again.
Whatever I
Right.
made sure I didn't say.
We'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.